Hit boy. We got another one.
It's week 7 of the 2025 season, and the focus is on the Bulldogs' creative quarterback. You can't ask for much more than his last game, a 5-touchdown effort. It's the Bulldogs and the Broncos on Thursday night.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight we kick off Week 7 with a great Thursday night matchup here between the London Bulldogs and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for the visiting Londoners, they've had a long few days already as they were in London last week, back in the States, and on the road this week.
And they had some travel troubles coming back from London, but since they came back with a win, they'll put up with those and continue to move forward.
And off we go from Denver. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air. There's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They go play action with Wilson. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. And that'll be incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
Partner, you know how guys always tell us it's not about the numbers, it's about the win. It's about the numbers, too. Almost 400 yards passing by him last week. What can he do in this one?
Well, earned him AFC Offensive Player of the Week. Maybe he'll try to get 400-plus here and duplicate that honor again. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again for the 41. And he's got room. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I love football. But then you go to 6. What are you going to call that? And they call it a
double
dime. A dime, which is just very simple for them. The math doesn't add up. But I know one thing. Offenses love to run against dime defenses. Typically, the bigger guys have an advantage against the smaller defensive backs when they're blocking downfield.
And we saw that advantage right there. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Jacobs. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year.
And the Bulldogs put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead.
An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes the score 7-0. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
It's 3rd and long now for Wilson and the Broncos after that sack.
Back to throw. Wilson. He's going to wind up and air it out.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And they finally put it into this return, but not before he's all the way down to the 37.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive.
And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Here's 2nd and 8.
This one complete to Jalen Waddle. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25.
But it's almost as if they didn't leave the field after their first drive. They picked right up where they left off. Another good throw there. And this offense, humming here in the early going.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a 1st down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown.
And the Bulldogs have taken a 13-0 first quarter lead.
And that moment we just saw, always so special for any rookie. The first touchdown of his career.
And there's nothing like anticipation, is there? You know he's been dreaming about it, thinking about it. It's been a part of every bit of his being. And finally, it gets done. He's got to feel great right now.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25.
And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos.
They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
He'll get this to Akers out of the backfield.
And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Wilson. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete.
And he will have a Broncos first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it. And occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A throw on the quick slant going to be complete.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. To throw again is Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
Now the first carry for Cam Akers.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 89 yards.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
From the 22, Wilson.
That's out to the flat for Akers. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll try and run for this with Akers.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
Now Lutz for the field goal try. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. They're not going to get it. They try to move the chains with a surprise, but it's a turnover on downs. They pass up the 3, fake it. It doesn't work. And as a result, possession switches hands.
London about set to take over on offense. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
That's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt.
Deontay Hardy back deep.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10.
Denver's offense ready to go again.
And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. Now it's Wilson. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Broncos send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20.
London about set to take over on offense.
It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But it's the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
That's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage. So timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs running left. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. They'll look to throw.
Man open, that's Jamar Chase, complete.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll drop to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 37. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now a play fake here on 1st down.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
2nd and 1. And it's caught. Touchdown.
Jamar Chase.
His 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Bulldogs take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now 21-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays.
And it was Jamar Chase who finished it off with a touchdown reception. This one taken just inside the 10. He takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer, because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
Wilson.
And his throw here's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Wilson. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That gain on 3rd down, good for 28.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, Wilson. And that's incomplete.
Well, these two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Now it's Wilson. He completes this to Sutton. Touchdown! Cortland Sutton, 41 yards.
And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit.
And that one able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Lutz good on the extra point, and they'll cut the lead to 21-7. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And Cortland Sutton able to finish things off with the touchdown reception.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Jamar Chase over to be at center stage yet again as the offense returns to the field.
It's really been a blistering start to the season for him so far. He's on pace to blow past 1,000 yards. The good receivers, it's interesting, though. You put extra coverage on them, they probably view that as a challenge. All right, I'm going to go after this. You put one guy on them, then they feel disrespected, and they want to. So how do you cover it?
You're exactly right. That's an insult, right? Especially the year that he's having. But I just have to go ahead and I'm not going to insult him. I'm going to respect it. I'm sending as many people as possible. But one of the reasons he's having this type of a start is, despite that type of coverage, he finds a way to what we call uncover late. Ball's thrown, even though there's coverage there, he's the one who can go up and come down with it, finds a way to get to the football.
And the offensive line has given them time in the pocket to have that uncovering late. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
They go play action here on 1st down.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Broncos are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield.
Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
After the interception, here's Wilson. It's hauled in by Hardy.
And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Play action. Now Wilson.
He goes once again right back to Hardy.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it's a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson.
They'll set up the screen here to Akers. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Now Wilson.
And he'll just get rid of it.
Tight defense there on 3rd down, but what a product of good coaching and even better execution, because he realized he's in field goal range, no sense forcing anything, and he made sure he didn't.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone, because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Back to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
2nd and 4.
Back to throw again.
That's going to be caught by Waddle.
And he'll be dropped just shy of the 35 at the 34. A pickup of 17 on a play that originated at the 17.
But whenever you call and run the hitch route, a lot of times that ball's got to be in the air before the receiver even turns around. That's the result of throwing it so many times in practice. Is really a timing route. Make sure that ball's out of your hands, and oftentimes the receiver turns around, and there's the ball. Nice completion there.
So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This one taken just inside the 10. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And no reason to do anything foolish, as they'll snap it one more time on first down.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half.
So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and CD in a minute. First, it's time to take a look at what we've got coming your way this weekend in the NFL. As far as the early games go on Sunday, we'll have our eye on Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. A big one for the Chiefs as they get set to take on the visiting New York Giants. Plenty to like about the late afternoon games as well. As you see by the highlight, these guys are in for a battle, taking on the Seattle Seahawks. And one more to highlight, a good one on Monday Night Football between the Detroit Lions and what equates to be a very tough opponent. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats for our visitors in the first half, and it's been the passing game that's been the story. They have feasted on this secondary to the tune of 200-plus yards already through 2 quarters. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary.
as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Fielded right around the 8. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And this offense set to go now to begin the third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked off by Jayon Brown.
And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown.
Personal foul. Roughing the tackle. Defense.
Wow, so wipe out the INT roughing the passer. What a disaster.
An absolute disaster, and you hope their lockers are not right next to each other for the postgame. Safe to say one is not buying the other dinner.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs, and he's going to ball his way forward to the 48. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll look to throw here.
He'll get this underneath to Jacobs.
And he's stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up the 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
And this one is right down the middle, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they're able to come away with the interception, Charles. They aren't able to move the ball all that much. However, they do get 3 out of it with a field goal.
Yeah, and anytime you do force a turnover, you have to come out of it with points. Everybody wants 6. They'll take the 3 there. Now it's their opportunity to do it again.
So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
They'll run on first down with Akers.
And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
They'll run a draw now with Akers. And a strong run that time as he's across midfield and down to the 43. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
A give up the middle to Akers.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Here's a run with Akers on 2nd down.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. On 1st down, Wilson. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
So 2nd and 4 from the 22. They'll go with Akers here up the middle.
And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19. Wilson now to throw on 3rd down.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 35-yard line.
Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores, but yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Throw left side complete. That's Jacobs.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
2nd and 6. Throwing middle, and it's complete.
And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10.
Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle.
He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
But they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
Open man is Waddle, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
They'll look to throw again. Being chased out left. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage.
First and goal at the 5-yard line.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver, as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Looking to throw.
That's caught. Waddle on the left side.
Touchdown!
Jalen Waddle.
A 16-yard touchdown.
And the Bulldogs are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the 4th quarter after that one, CD. And, well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense. And he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
This one taken just inside the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Set to take over. The Broncos offense trots back out. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. So 1st and 10 here for Wilson and the Broncos.
At their own 27. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 15 yards. That's good.
They'll run out of the gun with Akers.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Now Wilson on 2nd down. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Trayvon Mullen. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early. And sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
London about set to take over on offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Once again, it's Jacobs. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line.
Holding. Offense.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
On On third down, here comes Jacobs. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a 4th down. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Going to throw right side here, complete. The Broncos on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route.
And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now Wilson on 1st down. Over the middle here to Coates. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Wilson will throw again. And this one caught by Coates.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. On the give, this is Akers.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple, down to the 15-yard line.
Holding, offense.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now it's Wilson. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Wilson.
He'll check.
And it's a fumble. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line.
All right, you've had to put up with me in this booth. I'm going to try and be simple this time and succinct. It simply has not been their night.
No, I think that fumble's kind of indicative of how this whole evening's gone, isn't it?
Without a doubt. I mean, they've tried, but nothing has ever really taken throughout the game. That's why they're down so big.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
He's tackled at the 40-yard line. A gain of 2.
2nd down, Jacobs once more.
And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. They'll set up a throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Complete to number 44. A gain of 7. And the London 1st down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our visitors with a football as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10.
Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Now a carry for Jacobs.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
A 2-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And a strong run there as he'll maneuver his way down inside the 15. 45 yards rushing for him now. And he's only carried the ball 4 times.
No surprise this offense would be able to convert. They're currently 2nd in the league in 1st downs, and they pick up 1 here.
Yeah, not a stat that we talk about a heck of a lot, but it's a vital one. And in this case, it's really vital because what does it do? Keeps their defense off the field, gives them a chance to rest.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
So this crowd will not go home happy. It's a victory for our visitors. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Londoners, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week where they take on the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Denver, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they will be at home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins.